our friend Maya and her show, The Latest News, to keep you in the groove today. But it is a special edition. Maya, why is today a special edition of your show?
Because Riley Keough is calling in.
We got Riley Keough on Maya's show.
Yeah.
That is amazing. Wait, we got to go through all the sound effects here.
There
really
you
fast.
go.
Oh, there we go.
At least he
There's
gave you the applause. He didn't give you any other sounds.
Yay, Maya, take it away.
So first of all, I just want to say I'm so excited to be talking with you. I'm such a big fan of yours, and it's just an honor to be speaking with you. So thank you so much for calling in and for being my 299th interview.
Oh my gosh, thank you for having me. I kind of wish I was 300, but I'll take 299.
So my first question for you is, what first sparked your interest in being an actor?
Oh, that's a good one. I think it was when I was little, I used to love playing pretend. And I would play pretend in my backyard. Like the minute I was allowed outside during the day, I would go in my backyard, and we had a bunch of trees and fruit trees. And I would spend most of my day out there playing pretend and pretending I was like a princess, or I was, in a scary movie or whatever. Like, not a movie. It wasn't a movie, but it was real life pretend. And then that sort of turned into me wanting to film, different games. And then I started sort of writing little movies, I guess, when I was about 12, 13. And I would write ideas down and then I would film them. So I would film them around my house. I would get friends to play different parts. And then I would have one of my mom's friends actually edit them together, and he would add music. And yeah, so I started just making these little movies. And
Cool.
I think that over time that just turned into wanting to professionally, play pretend and make movies.
Oh, cool. So you played Daisy in Daisy Jones and the Six, and that show is amazing and one of my favorites. I was obsessed with it. How did you prepare for the role?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, I had a lot of preparing to do because I had never played music before. I'd never sang, and I'd also never played guitar. So I had a lot of musical preparing to do. I had to learn all of the songs on guitar. I had to learn to play guitar, and then I had to learn to sing. So I was doing a lot of band practice, a lot of singing rehearsals, and they put us in like a band camp where all of the actors and the band members would go every day, like music school, and we would sit and learn our different instruments. So we would learn whatever instrument we had to play in the show, and then we'd do band practice together. So then at the end of the day, we would all come together and sing in our band. And yeah, it was very fun preparing for the show.
Oh, cool. So where did you draw inspiration for your character?
I think I drew inspiration from the book because, originally it was a book. And then, so I had the book to read, and then also there's an audio book. So I had that as well to listen to sort of try and figure out who this girl is. And then I also, I watched a lot of videos on YouTube of old, performance videos from the 1970s of different female singers and also male singers and just bands in general, to see the way that they would perform and how their stage presence was. And so it was kind of, there wasn't one person that I was inspired by. I think I was inspired by a lot of different artists.
Oh, cool. Did you have a favorite episode to film?
That's a good question. I think the last few episodes were really fun because there was a lot of performance, stage performance in them. So we worked really hard to learn to be a band, and then we had to basically wait until the end of the filming period to do all of the like on stage band performances. So in episodes 8, 9, and 10, there's all of the sort of like big stadium shows where the band is performing for like loads of people, and those were really fun. So they put kind of all of the performances, stage performances, in a week or 2 weeks, I can't remember, and we did it all like in this crazy week where we were just shooting the live show stuff overnight. And it was just a crazy week, but it was really fun.
Wow. Yeah. Did you have a favorite song to perform?
That's a good question. I think that it depended on the day. I loved performing. The river was really fun for us because we all it's just very like high energy, and we all had fun with that. Also, Look at Us Now was really fun. What else? Regret Me was always fun. And then, I mean, all of them were fun to perform on, to be honest.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I still have the soundtrack on repeat. So
Oh, thank you for listening. That's so cool.
yeah. So you played Emily Lighton in The Guilty, which is one of my all-time favorite thrillers, and I just rewatched it the other day. What was the biggest challenge to not having any physical screen time and being a voice on the phone for the entire movie?
Well, I thought it was going to be challenging, but there was something very cool about it because I was filming the whole movie. It was during the pandemic, and I was in my house and I could just turn the lights off and set up the sound so they could record me, and no one could see me. And so I could do whatever I wanted in that room, So I was kind of like, it was kind of like fun because no one was watching, normally when you're acting, you've got lots of people watching. So I could be in any position I wanted to be in. I didn't have to do anything for the camera. So it was really like freeing actually. And also very cool to do scenes with somebody over the phone, because I've never done that before, because normally you're doing it in person and you're having a conversation. So to be able to just act through the phone and through our voices, and a lot of these people I'd never met in real life. So like with Jake Gyllenhaal, for example, like I'd met him briefly before, but all of my interactions really with him were on a phone, and so that was kind of a cool experience.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, as I remember the first time I watched it, I was like so sucked in, and I was like on the edge of my seat the entire time.
I know, it's really a stressful movie.
Yeah, it is. And even just rewatching it, like, even though I know what's gonna happen, like, I was still, I felt like my anxiety heightened as the movie went on.
Yeah, and I think it was so cool that they were able to make the movie so stressful
Yeah.
in one place. Like Jake is just
Yeah.
in one office, you know? It's
Yeah.
not like he's running around the city stressing everyone out. He's
Yeah.
in, his performance,
Yeah.
was able to stress everyone out, which is so cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So you have been in so many things from Mad Max Fury Road to Logan Lucky and the Terminal List and the Runaways and so many more, so much more. You've been in all different genres. Do you have a favorite genre?
Uh, hmm. I don't think I have a favorite genre. I have a genre, like for me, I like to watch fantasy if I'm watching movies. Like I love like Harry Potter and like I love that kind of movie. But for performing and for acting, I think I like whatever. It's really character based for me. So I like good characters I get to play. So sometimes that's in a thriller, sometimes that's in a genre, or I haven't done much comedy, but I'd like to try more of that. But yeah, so I think it's really just the character for me, and I've enjoyed all genres.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Um, of all the projects and characters you've played, is there one that you have related to the most?
When I'm filming them or filming movies, I tried really in that moment to relate to that character as much as I can. So I find with all of the films I've done while I'm shooting, I relate to that character the most, because I'm kind of living and breathing their world and their opinions and how they're feeling. So I think I bring out of me what's relatable, in that moment. So it's kind of every character I've played, I in that moment will relate to the most, I think I would say.
Oh, cool. What is the last thing you do before filming a scene?
Well, it depends on the scene. Um, I think in some way I'll be trying to get myself into the whatever the energy is of the scene I'm about to shoot. So if it's like a very like high energy scene, sometimes I'll like run or jump or try and get my heart rate up or try and, get myself physically to where I would be. If it's like a more quiet scene, I'll probably feel a little bit more quiet before the scene. If it's a funny scene, so I'll be like, I'll make sure that I'm in a sort of like giggly or laughy mood before the scene, so it just kind of whatever tone the scene is, I'll cultivate that kind of before we start shooting. So
Oh, cool. Is there a line from a movie, book, show, or song that has always stuck with you?
oh my gosh, I think that like the line, like in Moulin Rouge, when I was like 12, I watched that movie and it really was impactful to me. I loved the performances and I loved this sort of theatrical performance and costumes and all that. And when Nicole Kidman is performing, when they're doing the show must go on at the end, it really like, I don't know, my 12-year-old self like really for whatever reason could connect to that sort of moment in the show, and it's a Queen song, so I think that would be my most like or the strongest memory I have of being sort of young and connecting to like a moment in a song or like a film.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So Daisy Jones and the Six was a binge-worthy obsession for so many people. What show is your latest obsession?
Oh my gosh. I like that's another hard question. I don't watch as much TV as one would imagine. I like weird stuff. Like I like home makeover shows and like National Geographic like animal documentaries. Like that's kind of like if I'm going, to watch TV alone, like that's usually what I'll put on. Like Planet Earth or something. I don't know why, but that's kind of like my go-to TV to like watch in bed. But like binging, I think The Last of Us, that show, I binged that. I found it really sad a few episodes in, so I had to take a break. But I really thought that the performances were so beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah. Um, yeah, so if you had to pick a song to wake up to every morning for the next month, what song would it be?
Um, what song would I wake up to every morning? Probably like uh probably like a Bob Marley song, like something that made me feel like my day was gonna be groovy.
Oh, cool.
A happy
I like
song.
that. Yeah. Yeah, so my final question for you is, who do you consider to be a real life superhero and why?
Wow. Oh my gosh. That's a beautiful question. I think I would say my husband because he's just been there for me through so much stuff in my life, and he's been sort of given me strength to get through a lot of difficult times in my life. And so I'm very grateful for him. And he does it in a way that is very graceful and admirable, like a superhero.
Yeah. I love that. Um, well, thank you so much for calling in. I have just had so much fun talking to you, so thank you.
Thank you so much for having me, and congrats on 299.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
is
applause here in the studio.
It is a big day for sure. 299 is quite a bit.
A ton. Riley, we don't know how much you come to
you.
Colorado, but when you do, you have an open invitation to come to the Seacrest Studios
I
and
would
hang out with
love
the kids.
to. Colorado. I would love to come.
Well, our door's open, so make sure to come on by, okay?
Well, thank you guys so much for having me.
Thank you so much for calling in.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks,
Have
Riley.
a good one.
Thank you.
Take
Have a great
care.
rest of your day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.